Hey sweet peeps! Andrea here. This is my first video exclusively for Sweet Stamp Shop, and I'm excited to show you how I use stamps in my pocket layouts. Today I'm going to be featuring several different sets from Sweet Stamp Shop that I'll link in the description below. When I first get started on any layout, I usually start with my weekly title page or title insert. So I'm using some Simple Stories. I think their line that was called Oh Snap or something like that. But I'm using different colored letters here because eventually you run out of E's when you're making weekly title pages. So I just use what I have. That way I can use up all of my supplies. This is week 9. And I was trying to take that off. I didn't really like it. I'll end up replacing it, and you'll see that later. The stamp set that I'm going to use on this card is Anatomy of Love, which was the very first stamp set from Sweet Stamp Shop that I fell in love with. And so I've picked from here some sentiments, words, and things that I've felt that happened during the week. And then I'm using the little people to make our family. Each one of us is going to be a different color. That's hubby in green and me in yellow. Technically, I don't have a second husband. That's just how tall my son is. So we have 2 little boys. One's not so little. And that's our little family. So I'm going to just stamp each little word in a different color on this side, and I'm just going to randomly stamp them so that they fit. So there's fun was in red, and I think compromise was in green, love in a teal color. I was trying to get some of them to fit, and it just didn't work. So laughter, and then faith, and the last one is patience. I think we did pretty good this week. I think that forgiveness wasn't going to fit there. I tried, but it just didn't look right. So sometimes you just can't use them all. And I'm just going to place it after I draw my little line. I just wanted a place for us to stand, like it was a sidewalk or something. And then I'm going to grab the new supplies I got from scrapbook.com. I got some Simple Stories. That one's called The Daily Grind. I just felt like the style and colors really went with what I was working with. And then I used that little heart stamp to finish it off. When I work on pictures that are of scenery like this, I don't really like to clutter it up with a bunch of stuff. So I've just kind of layered a few elements here and then wrote the date. Make it easy. This was a day during the week that I worked a 12-hour day where I traveled for my job, which doesn't happen very often, but when it does, I'm really tired when I get home because it's usually a lot of driving. And so I was just, the Facebook post that I used for this picture was soaking up the snuggles that I missed throughout the day. So I was going back to Memento, which is the app that I use. Memento pulls feeds from Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and keeps them all in a calendar type of arrangement. And so you can go back to a calendar and see anything that you posted in social media for the day. And for me, that's exactly how I can remember. That's the only way I can remember the sentiments and things that I want to say about the pictures that I use in my Project Life pages. I basically scrapbook so that I remember what happened. Otherwise, I will forget. I'll forget how I felt. So I want to make sure I can remember those things. And here I just placed a little element that I received from one of my not swaps, but one of my little swag bag kits that I get a subscription to each month. Just placed a heart on top and a little piece of paper underneath that colors matched. This is a little circle from one of the cutouts that I use in my silhouette. This was a really fun card to make. So, it's it's a happy meal, right? When we get something fun from a scrappy friend. So I really wanted to just make that very apparent that I was very happy about this. So I'm basically stamping in this, I believe the color is called Cantaloupe. And I just kept stamping happy, happy, happy. I didn't want them to be perfectly lined up. I wanted to be falling off the edge a little bit. And just, I wanted to make one of them right there, that teal one, stand out. So I just stamped and stamped and stamped, same color, just so that it created a bit of a pattern, a bit of a background. I really like how it turned out. And I wanted the picture to sit on top of it, so I just went over as far as I could. But I wanted the arrow on the left to still show, because I wanted to write something on that too. So there, I just made myself a little pattern. Oh, and I wanted to mention too, the way that I cut my 2x2s. I get those printed by Persnickety Prints, and they come 2x2s, but they have a 1/4 inch border around. And what I do is I just chop the two sides and the top off to make it look like a Polaroid print, and then I can write or make a note. So right there, I wrote, I think I wrote "Sweet Mail from Tracy." She's the one who sent it to me. It was a little Dear Lizzie stamp. And sometimes I feel like I want to add more, and then I just don't. My gut is usually to keep things pretty simple. But I have so many embellishments, and they're so much fun. I feel like I want to use them. But sometimes it's just not appropriate. Sometimes it doesn't feel right. It looks like I'm thinking a little bit. Some more of the new stuff that I got from Simple Stories. That's more of the It's a Grind, or the Daily Grind. That sticker set is super cute. And I get the 6x6 packs of paper, and then out of it, it comes with two pieces of paper per pack, and they're double-sided. So I cut mine into one 4x6 and two 2x3s, and then I'm left with all these 2x4 pieces that can be great for a little bit of layering here and there. And I just had this cute picture of me with one of my new the new style with my new haircut, and just wanted to show that off a little bit, just to keep the memory there. I love that little cork flag that came in one of my subscriptions. And then a little heart right on the center, just to add a little bit of color. One of my favorite things to do is to let things hang off the side and then trim them off. So I love when things are kind of looking like they hang off the edge there. And all I did here was just write the date. And then I added a little tiny sticker that says now. This is this week 9, and happens to include the end of February and the beginning of March. And of course I thought I was going to make that centered, but I clearly grabbed the A instead of the R. So I'll find a way to make it evened out here. So what I like to do when my weeks include both months is I just like to make one of the title cards, you know, acknowledge that there's a new month involved here. I don't necessarily stop when I'm done with a month. I was scrap weekly. So if it's the end of a month and the beginning of a new month, I'll just, you know, make a little note of it. But it's still week 9. So to center, or to make that the words and title look a little bit more centered, I just added a heart. I'm going to use speech bubbles here because it's got that gorgeous hello, and I want to say hello March. So I'm going to line it up. I make sure that the green that I picked matches the card that I'm using by stamping a little sample over there on the side. On the right hand side is just a piece of white cardstock taped all the way down, and I use it to test colors and stuff. Also in speech bubbles, there's these 3 dots, and I just wanted to add a little bit down underneath So I stamped them, and then I stamped another set of them in between because they're a little further apart. I wanted them to be a little bit closer together. I just wanted them to be like a little border down there. I'll put a little exclamation point there. Makes it a little more exciting. Those stickers, if you stick them down, they're stuck for life. So I had to re-glue that because the backing came off. They're not very forgiving. And here I'm trying to decide if something else needs to go on here, but I decided nope. So here is a little flag from, I believe, Studio Calico. I printed out a bunch of them. They just say the name of the day of the week. And Saturday nights after church, we've kind of started a tradition of going to ice cream as a family. So this was one of those nights. And what I'm journaling here is the flavors of ice cream that we all like at this particular time. Gibson and I like mint chocolate chip from Cold Stone, because it's got mint ice cream, but it's got chocolate chips and brownies and chocolate sauce. It's pretty good. And Matt was showing me his empty cup. So I needed one that was a little bit bigger. And I'm just writing at, it's a wood veneer with an at symbol. And I just wrote Cold Stone with an exclamation point. So it says at Cold Stone. And then here I'm going to, I wrote it all in pencil so I make sure that it fits. Now I'm going to write it all in pen. But what I wanted to do was grab a little open heart, and with that orange stamp I'm going to just put a heart on the checkbox next to each of our names. Each of our thing took up 2 lines, so I just kind of wanted to do a little extra there. And the hearts, whether they're open or double or full from Sweet Stamp Shop, are just the perfect size. They fit, they're perfect for journaling. And each, I think, almost all of their stamp sets come with some kind of different heart. So they're really fun to play with. This layout was a little bit difficult to figure out what I wanted and where I wanted it. So you'll see a lot of movement. I tear a lot of paper to make different layers. But the most important part for me is making sure that the elements and embellishments don't clutter up the picture. I still want the picture to be center stage most of the time if it's possible. And I don't like when too many colors are too close together, so I'm trying to separate that flower and that paperclip because they're the same color, and I want some space in between that speech bubble and the little tag. So here I'm going back to speech bubbles, and what the boys were doing out here was they were basically lighting stuff on fire. Gibson got a flint and some fire starting kit for Christmas, and he's had his electronics taken away lately, so he's been finding other creative things to do. And this I was thinking stamp was just absolutely perfect because I remember him coming to me and saying, "Hey Mom, I was thinking, could me and Marshall go outside and light stuff on fire?" And so in figuring out what to do, that's basically what the journaling is going to be, because that's what they said. And with when I do journaling, I always write in pencil first. I got to make sure that it fits. But some of my pens don't erase very well, and I learned that this particular pen, the way it's kind of like a painted pen. So I did a test on my little scrap page over there and found out that it does not erase over well. So I erased my pencil first and then just wrote on the page or on the little tag raw. And using speech bubble again, it had the other perfect sentiment, which was my answer to their question, which was yes way. And there you have it. And that's my week 9. Glad you guys could join me. Talk to you soon. Everything will be linked down at the bottom. Have a great day.